Welcome to AviatorDB News Briefing. Today is Thursday, August 27, 2026. First, breaking news headlines. Ground worker killed in French B, A350 pushback incident at Montreal. In other news, ramp agent killed in French B, A350 pushback accident at Montreal. United Airlines new routes 2027, largest international expansion ever. Reagan national helicopter restrictions made permanent by FAA. Cirrus SR22 catches fire mid-flight, pilot survives after deploying caps over Brazil. Now for the details. Montreal, August 24, 2026. A ground crew member died Monday evening after suffering critical injuries during pushback operations at Montreal Pierre-Elliott Trudeau International Airport, YUL, authorities confirmed. The accident occurred at approximately 7:30 p.m. local time and involved a French B, Airbus A350-900, registration FHREY, which was being prepared for departure on flight BF 5761 to Paris-Orly. The victim, a male employee of ground services firm Samsic, was the driver of the pushback tug involved in the incident. He was transported to hospital in critical condition, where he later succumbed to his injuries. French B confirmed in a press statement that all passengers and crew aboard flight BF 5761 were unharmed. The flight did not depart that evening. Passengers remained aboard the aircraft for a period following the incident before being disembarked and accommodated, according to reports from l'Alsace. The Service de Police de la Ville de Montreal, SPVM, and aviation authorities have opened an investigation into the circumstances of the accident. French B said it is cooperating fully with local authorities and airport management. The aircraft remained on the ground at Montreal Trudeau pending the outcome of the inquiry. The circumstances of the accident remain under investigation. A 39-year-old ramp agent was killed Monday evening after being struck by a French B, Airbus A350-900 during pushback operations at Montreal Pierre-Elliott Trudeau International Airport, YUL. The victim, identified by the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers as Oscar Robayo, was an employee of ground handling contractor Samsic. Aéroports de Montréal confirmed emergency services were activated at approximately 7:30 p.m. local time, August 24th. Robayo was transported to hospital in critical condition and later succumbed to his injuries. The aircraft, registration FAA, was operating French B flight BF 5761 from Montreal to Paris-Orly when the incident occurred. Passengers aboard reported hearing a loud noise followed by an abrupt stop during the pushback maneuver. French B confirmed the accident took place during routine ground handling operations and said the exact circumstances remain under investigation. The Transportation Safety Board of Canada has opened a formal investigation, and a separate federal occupational health and safety inquiry is also underway. Preliminary reporting by Radio Canada suggests Robayo may have fallen before being struck by the aircraft's nose gear, though investigators caution that the precise sequence of events has not been established. Aviation safety experts note that ramp operations remain among the most hazardous phases of airline operations, owing to the close proximity of heavy aircraft and ground equipment. United Airlines has announced its largest international network expansion in company history, introducing 10 brand new international cities and 13 total new routes for 2027. The announcement, made August 25, 2026, signals a strategic push into secondary European leisure markets and long-haul Asia destinations, with 8 of the 10 new cities currently unserved by any U.S. carrier. Newark Liberty International Airport, EWR, anchors the expansion, accounting for 8 of the 10 new destinations. The Airbus A321XLR, a long-range narrow-body that makes thinner long-haul markets economically viable, will power Newark routes to Luxembourg, Ibiza, Valencia, and Marseille, as well as a new Washington Dulles to Toulouse service. Additional Newark additions include Ljubljana, Slovenia, Olbia, Italy, and Catania, Italy, further cementing Newark's role as United's primary transatlantic hub. Beyond Europe, United will launch San Francisco to Okinawa, Japan, service beginning March 27, 2027, operated by a Boeing 777-200ER. The airline will also resume suspended San Francisco-Tel Aviv service and add new routes from Denver to Paris and Los Angeles to Osaka. Rounding out a wide-ranging network overhaul, the carrier is calling the most ambitious in its history. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, formalized permanent helicopter restrictions near Reagan Washington National Airport on August 26, 2026, locking in airspace limits for helicopters and powered lift aircraft. The agency said the rule is designed to eliminate mixed helicopter and fixed-wing traffic in critical zones, reducing the risk of mid-air collisions. Under the new rule, helicopter operations are prohibited in specific areas near the airport, including the closure of Route 4 between Haynes Point and the Wilson Bridge. Exceptions apply for essential operations such as life-saving medical flights, active law enforcement, national security missions, continuity of government operations, and presidential or vice presidential transport. The policy follows the January 29, 2025 mid-air collision near DCA that killed 67 people. In March 2025, the National Transportation Safety Board urged the FAA to permanently prohibit helicopter operations near the airport when runways 15 and 33 are in use, calling the previous routing an intolerable risk to aviation safety. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy described the formalization as part of a broader effort to ensure long-term operational safety. The FAA has since updated helicopter routes and aeronautical charts to shift traffic further from commercial flight paths, marking a permanent operational reset for Washington, D.C. metropolitan airspace. A Cirrus SR22 caught fire mid-flight over the Belo Horizonte area of Minas Gerais, Brazil, on August 25, 2026, forcing the pilot to deploy the aircraft's emergency parachute system. According to reports from AeroIn and AvBrief, the 29-year-old pilot activated the Cirrus Airframe Parachute System, CAPS, after the onboard fire became uncontrollable. The aircraft descended into a wooded area, and the pilot was able to exit the cockpit before being hospitalized for smoke inhalation and minor injuries. Although the parachute brought the aircraft safely to the ground, the plane was completely consumed by fire after touchdown. Local airport authorities reported that no emergency calls were received before the incident. The cause of the mid-flight fire has not yet been determined, and Brazilian aviation regulators have not released an official statement. The incident highlights the life-saving potential of CAPS, which is designed to convert otherwise catastrophic failures into survivable events, a function it performed as intended in this case. The investigation remains ongoing. That's all we have for today. You can get the latest aviation news at aviatordb.com.